Okay, so those of you who are not familiar with the project, I see we got a few more people wandering in. This is good. We have three major projects. We're all centered in the southwest U.S. in the jurisdictions of Nevada and Arizona, two of the most favorable mining jurisdictions in the world. Three projects that we have are essentially either exploration or pre-development, and each project on its own would support a new junior mining resource company. That said, our flagship property is called the Candelaria Past-Producing Silver Mine in the state of Nevada. This is a photograph of it here. There are two large open pits and two large heap leach pads that you can see in this photo. At least you can see one of each, and I'll come back to this photo as we move along. Ubiquitous forward-looking statements for everyone. As you can see here, we have other projects as well. We have the Cherokee, which is an early exploration project in eastern Nevada. We'll talk about that. And we also have another project called the Phoenix Silver Project in Arizona, which is an extremely high-grade opportunity, which we are just waiting for a drill permit on in order to advance that project. We've got good financial backing and good management structure as well. So what are our goals? Candelaria, mainly what we're doing right now is metallurgical testing. We want to update historic resource and do an economic study in the new year. And then we want to also continue exploration for silver oxide and also for porphyry style mineralization that I'll talk about. Cherokee, I'm not going to belabor this one due to time constraints, but it is a very prospective silver, gold, copper vein system in eastern Nevada. Phoenix Silver, as I said, an extremely high-grade opportunity. I'm not going to talk about the uses of silver or why silver. I think any of you who were in the keynote speaker this morning, very bullish on silver. You've seen silver going up over the last few years, or last few days, and we do have an awful lot of growth potential in the silver industry, particularly in the electronics field. So I'm just going to skip this, as I said, due to time constraints. Going to start on the Candelaria project, which is in the western side of Nevada, just off the main highway that joins Reno to Las Vegas. Good access, I'll talk about that. It was an early production scenario. It started in 1864. Essentially, between then and 1959, it produced from near-surface underground high-grade silver oxide veins at an average grade of 1,250 grams per ton. It was one of the richest silver mines in the state of Nevada. In the 70s and 80s and 90s, it was converted into open pit mining. Kinross was the last big producer. They produced up until 97, and with the collapse of silver prices down to about $2.50, they decided to close the mine, start reclamation, which they didn't finish, which is to our advantage, and then they also sold it off to Silver Standard. Silver Standard did a drill program, outlined a substantial new resource, and they also did some studies, but with silver prices still languishing well under $5 per ounce, they decided to move on to other projects. We entered into an agreement in 2017 with them with the ability to acquire a 100% interest with no royalties back to Silver Standard. What is this resource that Silver Standard outlined? Now deemed to be historic because of its age, 2002. However, we have done enough drilling to be able to update this, which we plan on doing in the new year. But they had measured and indicated resources of approximately 44 million ounces of silver and another inferred resource of about 34.5 million ounces of silver. These are in-ground resources just down dip from the two big open pits. Now, we drilled the old heap leach pads. You'll see the big one sitting here in the photograph. And we completed an updated 43101 resource on it. Leach pad number 1, which you can see here, contains about 30 million ounces of silver. Leach pad number 2, just behind that big hill in the background there, contains an additional 15.5 million ounces of silver. The average grade of both is about 42 grams per ton. Can we think about restarting the heap leach pads as the first step in the rehabilitation of the Candelaria project? I'll get into that in a little bit. This just shows the infrastructure. We've got the main highway in the upper right-hand side of the map here. 2 miles of paved road goes past that hidden leach pad number 2, past leach pad number 1 to the old processing site. Not much left there. 2 big open pits with down dip extensions to the mineralization. And we have a power line, which is active. We pay our monthly power bills. And we have 2 big water wells, which each are capable of 500 to 700 gallons per minute. So we've got most of the infrastructure required to rehabilitate this project. What have we been doing over the last few years? Well, we've done a lot of drilling. There's the 2 big open pits. Interesting enough, one area down dip from the Mount Diablo pit to the north of it has a lot of high-grade intercepts. Intercepts I'll talk about in the next slide. Also, we have found some interesting mineralization to the north of the Northern Bell pit. We also looked at along strike extensions to the open pit mineralization, which is lower grade, but it could facilitate augmentation of early processing from the heaps, and I'll talk about that. Quickly, this is difficult to read. Anyone who wants to read this can go to the website and blow up the map, but essentially all these intercepts are in the hundreds of grams per ton silver with good gold grades. Highs are up to 1,750 grams per ton gold with silver with 2.6 grams per ton gold. And some of them have had thicknesses in excess of 45 meters. So we do have a very interesting system. We want to look at tracing that high grade down dip to the north. We've only drilled 500 meters to the north of the pit, and we know it carries on down into some sulfide mineralization, which is interesting for future consideration. This is a magnetometer map. We flew the project, big mag high to the north against the mag low to the south. Long, continuous structural control on the mineralization that comes up and goes through the pit. All of the historic workings lie along this major structural break. And there's something funny happening between the 2 pits where there seems to be a bit of an offset along a northeast trending structure. Now, why is this important? We went out and we looked to the west near the Georgine pit, and we're finding a different style of mineralization right on the big heap or the old adit dumps. And this was not classic silver oxide mineralization. It was porphyry style alteration with quite a bit of chalcopyrite. We did some drilling and we intersected thick intervals of advanced porphyry style alteration at depth. On top of that, we see that some of these rocks, they have returned values up to 2.76% copper with very good silver and gold credits. So is there a big porphyry system as well as the silver oxide at Candelaria? Something we will explore in the future. This is just a compilation map that shows essentially we have coincidental IP, coincidental magnetic vector anomalies, and good geochemistry with copper oxide abundant on surface at the Red Hill area to the west of the 2 big open pits. So a lot of work to be done at Candelaria. Now I'm going to just skip the Cherokee because of time constraints. Just say it's a strong vein system that's been traced for over 12.5 kilometers, and it has good copper, silver, gold values in the north and good silver, gold values in the south. we'll do that, future exploration. Now let's jump to another interesting project. This one here essentially is the Phoenix Silver Project in Arizona. Some prospectors came to us and they said, we have this project. There's not much outcrop on it, so they didn't know how to explore. So we entered into an agreement to get 100%. They took their metal detectors up the hillside and they uncovered these very large silver vein fragments that are estimated to contain over 70% silver. There's the project just to the north of a town called Globe, big porphyry copper producing area with a silver camp up to the northeast. We're a 20-minute drive from downtown Globe. Prospectors did give us some samples. This one here is all native silver that you can see, that shiny metal there. And that one came back with an assay of over 459,000 grams per ton silver. Can we find the source of these big silver vein fragments, which are unabraded, very angular, and haven't traveled very far from their source? We've got some interesting targets that were outlined by geophysics and soil geochemistry just upslope from where those vein fragments were found. I don't know if this will work or not. No, it doesn't really work. Essentially, we have selected as the primary drill target area. We have a permit in application with the Forestry Division. We've had good communication with them, and it looks like we'll be getting that permit in the not too distant future. So in the new year, we'll be drilling this project for those very high-grade potential targets. So just in summary, Candelaria, we're advancing. We're doing metallurgical testing. We plan on putting all that information together. We've done enough drilling to update the resource, and we're going to be putting out an economic report in the new year. And hopefully silver prices will continue to increase. That will make that more robust. Cherokee, we do plan to do exploration, but it's not our priority right now. Phoenix Silver, as soon as we get that drill permit, we'll let people know, and we'll be out there moving that project forward. Okay, and we're always looking for new interesting opportunities as well. Not that we don't have enough on our plate. Here's our share structure, and we've got, as of June 30th, we had 4.9 million in our treasury. Probably the end of the year, we're just going to have over 2 million in our treasury. Largest shareholder, Eric Sprott, and you'll see other institutions here. We've got many other institutions that are under the 1 to 2% range as well. That's our trading price. We were up last trading there yesterday, and we tend to move up and down with the silver prices. So hopefully with increasing silver prices that we've seen over the last few days, we're going to see a return to more robust share prices as well. And we do trade decent shares on both of the exchanges. So that's the presentation. If anybody has any questions, I thank you for attending.